what's up, everybody? Hey, people. Hey, my peeps. How y'all doing this evening? Good to see everybody. Hello, David and Laura and Jesse and Tara. What's up? How y'all doing? Let me get the list up on the screen. Let's do it. Let's see what's up. Dizzy Lizzie, how you doing? Good to see you, beautiful. How you doing, beautiful Taurus? Good to see everybody. Jesse is another Taurus. Hello, Tauruses. Hello, Laura and the Gemini. David Butcher. How could I ever forget that David is a Leo? Hello, David the Leo. Hello, Joseph the Pisces. How you doing? You're raving away. Good deal. Hey, Cloud. Hey, Nikki. What's up? How y'all doing? Good to see everybody. I have been chilling most of today. I did. But it was a good night last night. Who caught the live stream with me and Leo? Leo Fire, Leon. Who caught it last? I know some of y'all did because I saw you there. There's Jeff. Hey, beautiful. Who caught the live stream with Leon last night? We had such a blast. That was so much fun. I had a good time. Everyone, I hope everybody's having a fantastic evening too. Yes, Leo was yes, of course. Leo in the house. Leo in the house. We only need one, David. I mean, I'm good with more than one, but you know, one is plenty. Leo energy's so big, right? That's what's up. That's what's up. In a good way. In a good way. He was a hoot, wasn't he, David? He's so funny. He's great. He's a really good reader. Really good reader. Very intuitive and a lot of fun and just generally a nice guy. You know, he's a good one. Yes, we had fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. He was fun. I thought he was going to do a live stream today, but he ended up not doing it. He might pop in here later, y'all. You never know. But let's get started. You guys ready? Let's clear some energy and do the thing. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Now, he was funny last night. And if y'all watch him, he was actually, for Leon, that was chill. He was actually chill. I'm like, Leon, you can loosen up. He's like, well, it's your channel. I don't want to. I'm like, you were worried about us being chill up in the cottage. There is no chill here. That's why you're here, because you fit in, dude. It was fun. Anyway, Laura is actually up first, and I saw your question about the Scorpio, Laura. I'm going to go back and look at it again because I saw you put it in the chat, but I want to make sure the Scorpio's energy. Okay, yes, the one we mentioned. Hey, Steely Daniel. Hey, 19. Okay, sorry, I did. I got you, Miss Laura. I got you, love bug. Y'all help me remember that if Delaney comes in, y'all let her know that she's got a question that is on the house, compliments of our darling Birdie, the Virgo. And so make sure that if she comes in, she'll let me know she's here and that she's got a question on compliments of the amazing Birdie man. All right, y'all ready? You ready to get this party started? Let's do it to it. Let me timestamp for Laura Boo. Laura Boo, my little Gemini. Let's see what's up. Oh, before I read for you, Laura, let me do my other thing I do. Hold on. Source, Spirit, Universe, Divine Guides, give us information for everyone, for their highest good, for their greater good. Accurate, clear, complete, relevant, and appropriate, so that they can make good life path decisions in alignment with consciousness of the divine. As it is spoken, so it is. All right, Laura, let's go. Let's do it. Here we go, Miss Laura. Here we go. Let's look at the Scorpio's energy toward Laura Boo. What is the Scorpio's energy toward Laura? What's the Scorpio's energy toward Laura, please? Give me the Scorpio toward Laura. Give me the Scorpio toward Laura, please. Give me this Scorpio's energy toward, ooh, you make me feel like a man. Hell yeah. Okay, he's starting off with a bang, Laura. He's starting off with a bang. Let's get a little more. That one flew out in the upright, clear. I'm like, okay, I can't argue with the Emperor. Not much I can say about that except, okay, hello, handsome. Let's see what's up. Tell me more about this Scorpio. Give me more about this Scorpio. Give me more about this Scorpio. Give me. Okay, listen, Laura, this came out sideways. That's not a bad thing for where you are in this thing. I'll talk about it and how I take that. I don't think that's bad. The King of Cups, but in the reverse. Okay. Hey, Makita, what's up? How you been? Okay. Tell me more. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. Tell me more on the Scorpio. Let's dig in. Oh, you're home. Okay. Good deal. Tell me more on the Scorpio toward Laura Boo. Give me more toward Laura from this Scorpio. What else is the Scorpio vibing? What else is the Scorpio packing energetically as it relates to Laura? Lizzie, what's up? Lizzie, what's up? Give me more. Give me more on this thing. Give me more on Scorpio. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, I like his energy. I like where he's at right now, Laura. I like where he's at. Here's what I get. The Emperor came out, then as you know, I know, right, David? You ain't even lying. The Emperor came out, as you know. So this, with everything else I'm seeing on this guy, Laura, I say this is a grown-ass man. I also say, the first thing I heard, and I always go with that whenever I get a jumper especially, is she makes me feel like a man. And I don't mean just sexually, but just, in every way. She makes me feel like I want to man up for somebody, right? I kind of like that vibe. Hey, Green Eyes 007. How's my little friend? Good to see you. Speaking of handsome men that are emperors. All right. Anyway, back to the reading, Laura. King of Cups came out sideways. I don't mind it coming out sideways at this point. He says, I'm not in love. He says, right now, he says, I could fall in love. And maybe I offer her my cup of love and maybe I don't, right? But, I'm definitely looking at it, okay? It's like maybe I'll fall in love. That's okay, And then we have this 9 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, and the Fool card. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles on top of that. So what this is telling me is that you've got his attention. You've got his respect. He looks at you and he sees a woman that has value, and not just financially, right? But he sees somebody that brings something worthwhile to the table. So you have his respect. He says, okay, she's worth looking at. Queen of Pentacles, right? And I often look at the Queen of Pentacles when it comes out in the reading. I will sometimes say they value you. They feel like you're, someone that they would want to put on a pedestal or something like that. So I like that. He can see himself working on something with you and taking a leap of faith. So he's absolutely in a good place, in my opinion, especially for where you guys are. Okay, so I think he's worth your time, Laura. I think he's worth your time. You definitely have his attention. You have his respect. He's looking at this and saying, this might be worth taking a leap of faith. This might be worth my time. I'm going to put some effort and energy into this. And she could be what I'm looking for, And I almost don't even mind that 9 of Cups when it comes out like this because, again, it's so new. I think he's in this energy of, hey, Birdie, I'm actually reading for Laura right now. I think he's in this energy of, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm in a good place, but she might be worth me taking a leap of faith on, if that makes sense. I'll get a little bit more on it for you, Laura. Get a little bit more on it. Let's see what we got. Anything else you can tell me about how this Scorpio might be coming toward Laura? The Lover's card is here. He feels a connection with you, and you know that's Gemini energy. Okay. What's that? Hold on, something flew out. Let me get it. So the Six of Swords came out in the reverse. That's interesting. I kind of wonder, Laura, if you guys talked some and then he revisited I know he's not an ex, because I know you would have said so. But what I feel like is he may have, talked to you a little bit and then said, I don't want to mess with love right now. And then he said, she's worth a little, I got to look at that again. I got to look at that again. I kind of get that vibe from that Six of Swords that came out in the reverse. Kind of get that vibe. You'll have to let me know if that makes sense to you, Laura. Look, the Sun card is here. All right, the Five of Wands in reverse, so I like that. You're getting some pretty good cards on dude. Getting some pretty good cards on dude. I would have to look at this. I would definitely, oh my God, look, Laura. I would have to look at this one. I'm going to say this guy is definitely going to be worth your time. Definitely going to be worth your time. I kind of think, Laura, do you feel a connection to this guy, like a soul type bond or something like that? Because he feels it on his side. I don't know if you know that, but he feels this connection to you. He does. So you've got this guy's attention for sure. Yeah, I really like it. I think he's looking for something long-term. I think he's open for something long-term. I think he's selective based on what I saw with the Nine of Cups and the King of Cups in reverse, but I think he would go for it with the right woman. Mystic, what's up, beautiful? Did you make it back to Texas yet, Mystic, or are you still en route? Yeah, I like the dude. I really do. Yeah, he's got some pretty strong cards coming out. Yeah, Scorpios are definitely worth your time if they love you, and if they're, if they've kind of worked through a lot of the stuff, I mean, that's true for any sign, right? But yeah, I like a high vibrational Scorpio. Make no mistake, I love them. It's a good one. You got home? Okay, good. I hope you're resting. I feel a lot better, by the way, today, Mystic. I guess I went live last night, and I ended up feeling better, and so Leon and I did a collab last night. But Birdie, I have not seen Delaney, but if she pops in, we are going to let her know that we have her here. Lena is actually up next. And so let me go over here and pick up Lena. Let me mark that one. Thank you too. Appreciate you. And Birdie, thank you. That was very sweet of you, Birdie. So Lena has a question, and let me timestamp for Miss Lena real quick. Lena, let's see what's up. All right, so Lena is a Libra asking about a Pisces who she was getting to know. We reconnected at a party last night. Will we rekindle our connection? Hey, Karen Palermo, how you doing, beautiful? Good to see you. All right, let's take a look at this Pisces and see if there is a reconnect between the Pisces and Lena the Libra. How do we see things going between Pisces and Lena the Libra? Tell me how that might go. Do we see a reconnection here? Do we see a reconnection here between Lena the Libra and this Pisces? Hey, JJK, what's up? Do we see a reconnect between Lena the Libra and Pisces? Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got, Miss Lena. Let's see what we got. Do we see a reconnect? You're cooking dinner. Okay. Good deal. Let's see here. Ace of Wands came out in the reverse. 8 of Cups. 10 of Cups. Why is that? It looks like a false start. It looks like a false start. I think there may have been some magic in the moment, but I don't know if it's going to go much beyond that. What my cards suggested is that Pisces may be involved with somebody. My cards make me feel like Pisces may be involved with another person. Let me get more on that. 10 of Cups. Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? 10 of Cups. Let's see. Why are you here? Why are you here? Now, it may be something else. I just thought of something else it could be. So I'm going to just clarify that. Page of Swords, 6 of Cups in reverse, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, it's not that. I don't think Pisces is involved. I think the problem is emotional vulnerability. Somebody has trust issues with the Page of Swords here due to being betrayed, with the 10 of Swords here. 6 of Cups in reverse, I think it goes back before you. I think this is somebody back in this person's past, and I think as a result, there are trust issues and possibly issues around emotional vulnerability. I don't think you have heard the last of the Pisces. I do get the Pisces coming back around, but I don't feel like it's something that's going to really last. I get this Pisces maybe being kind of an in and out energy, and it never really materializing into anything beyond that, Lena. That's what I feel. I think you'll get so far. Yeah, I think he'll waste your time if you let him. 3 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. I think he'll move toward you a little bit. You guys may talk. You may actually go out a time or two. And then I think he might vanish and then probably pop up again for more of that. That's what I get. That's what I think you'll have. Unfortunately, Lena, that's what I got on that energy. All right? That's what I got. All right. And we've got Cassandra. Cassandra, I got you on the list after beautiful. Let me put you on the list. Oh, y'all are so sweet. I have the sweetest people. If Delaney comes in, y'all, make sure she doesn't get away from here before I can read for her. Or Birdie, if you want to pick somebody else, you can do that. And if you do, just let me know. All right, so we have we have the Leo. All right, Mr. Leo. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's up, David. Let's see what's up. David says, hi. Let's see what we got here. Oh, let me timestamp for you, David. You can, Mystic. I got you, Cassandra. Yes, you are on the list. David, let me timestamp for you. Oh, there have been some developments. Okay. Okay, we'll see. David, listen to me. What is my soul's specific purpose in this life? I don't need cards for that, and tarot can't answer that, but I can tell you how to find it. I can't give you an answer, but I can tell you how to get the answer. And I will, or you can ask another question, and I don't care. You can do either one. But let's read for you, David. Let's see what's up. Yes, that's right, Mystic. That's right. All right, let's look at... So Leo sun, I've noticed karma kicking the behoodly of an Aquarius sun whom I loved. She's enduring what she subjected me to. Does she see it for the karma that it is? And will she attempt to make things right with me? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Let's take a look. Give me this. Tell me this Aquarius's thoughts and actions associated with her recent misfortune. Tell me the Aquarius's thoughts and actions related to the recent misfortunes that she has experienced. Okay, I can look at that for you. Tell me her thoughts about her recent misfortunes. Give me where she is on her recent misfortunes. On her recent unfortunate experiences. Tell me her thoughts and feelings about that and what she may do about it. Where's she at? Where's she at on this thing? Queen of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Hangman in reverse. Damn. I hate to tell you this, David, but she is not understanding the assignment. That's the best way I know to put it. That's why the Hangman in reverse really tells all. The Hangman, David, just to give you a little backstory on why that's here and what, there's some other stuff here that's supporting that, but she doesn't see the moon card. She's blind as a bat when it comes to what the lesson is in this thing. What I think is this. I would be willing to bet that whatever has happened to her involves the ending of a connection, and she is going to go straight into something new. Okay? Is that some of the misfortune? Does it have to do with the ending of a relationship? Because I see her literally walking away from one thing and going towards something new almost immediately, and walking in blind without having learned a damn thing with the moon card. Leon, what's up? Now, the Hangman in reverse tells all. This is where you get the real tea on this thing, David. The Hangman is often something, legal issues. She may be looking for someone to try to rescue her from those. It could be that. Nonetheless, what I get is this. With the Hangman in reverse, the Hangman has to do with having empathy. Looking at things differently, having a new perspective, putting yourself in someone else's shoes, stopping to think how your actions affect others, and looking at where you need to make changes. And that came out in the reverse. And that almost screams, I'm just going to do something else so I don't have to deal with the bullshit in my own bullshit, right? It can often be associated with skipping a step as regard to, you know, getting them the lesson, learning the lesson, understanding the assignment, and that sort of thing. The moon card talks about her walking into her next phase of life right along this Knight of Cups, blind as hell. Blind as hell. So, I don't think she's getting it. I don't think she's really getting any benefit from these tough times of hers, right? Hey, Angel Eyes, how you doing? Hey, Marshawn Anderson, good to see you. I'll see if she might come toward you, but I'm not sure that, oh, okay, I got you. Let her know, Birdie, that you guys, she's got a question. Angel Eyes, yeah, I'll read for Angel Eyes. I'll put her on the list. That works. I'll change it in a minute, Birdie. I want to see, David, what her next action is toward you, but I'm not sure if she came toward you. I'm not sure if she came toward you that, let me see. Would she come toward David? Would this Aquarius come toward David? Would she come toward David? Would she come toward David? No, Five of Cups. She's being stubborn and withdrawn. Five of Cups, Hermit. She's in victim mode. She's in victim mode all day long. And she's just pouting and sulking. What in the hell? This is not how Aquarians behave. I mean, if she's an Aquarius sun, some people rarely act like their sun, but there's something in her chart that screams victim mode or the propensity to go there. And I have that. So that doesn't always mean that, but just know that that can happen. She's in victim mode. I see her over there wallowing in self-pity. So, but Angel Eyes, if you're still here and you can hear me, hang tight, because Birdie's got one on the house for you, just so you know. But that's what I got, David. Let me see what new things might be coming towards you, romance related. Anything that you need to know, David? Let's take a look. Anything coming toward David the Leo in romance? Anything coming toward David the Leo in love and romance? Let's take a look. Anything coming toward David around love and romance? Yeah, maybe she'll figure it out. I get that. Love and romance toward David the Leo. David the Leo. Something's here. You've got, yeah, you do. You've got something. You've got something. I think you got more than one option, David. You get like a lot of options. David, what in the hell is going on with you? Are you hot or are you a hottie or something? Asking a Leo if they're a hottie. That's like saying, does a bear shit in the woods? David, your love life is pretty active. I see the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right? I got a lot of people here, and what I get in general is you being out and being social and being your Leo self and just going out and having fun with friends or what have you, right? And what I also feel is that you, I get a lot of people around you. I get an ex, or could be, I get some, there's some person here I don't like, okay? There's an asshole. But there's a couple of good ones that look pretty fun, okay? I think there is a relationship that's pretty happy for you down the road. I don't think that, you may meet that person. That's in your energy, David. but I feel like there's a doo-doo head that you'll run across, but you'll pick it up pretty quickly. The doo-doo head is, listen to how serious I sound, and I'm saying doo-doo head. But the doo-doo, the shit bird is going, here's how you're going to know who this person is. This person will be inconsiderate, all right? And selfish, and yeah, just inconsiderate and selfish, okay? And I feel like that's going to be very evident very early on. I don't see you. You did, Casey? Okay. But David, I feel like this doo-doo head is going to be so obvious. Like, I think this is probably someone that you talk to, and that's about it. And you're just like, ew, I don't like her, and that's about that, right? So I feel like that is, you'll run across that and you'll go like, oh yeah, that's the one Auntie Karen told me about. That's the doo-doo head. And don't call them a doo-doo head to their face, but you can say that, okay? But you've got something here with some romance, with the Eight of Wands going to the Knight of Wands, going to the Ten of Cups. So I think there is somebody pretty dynamic, David, that's crossing your path, okay? And I like her. She may have to me, what I get from her vibe, I think she's passionate, I think she's active, and I think she's youthful. And it is possible that she could even be a bit younger than you, okay? But she's going to be very youthful, very passionate, very active. You may end up with somebody that's very fiery, or somebody that's got air going on in their chart, right? So I definitely, I like this other one for you. I think those are the main two that are here. Do I think there are more? I think there's a good possibility with what I am looking at that you will talk to a lot of people this summer. I think you're going to have a busy social calendar this summer, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So you're going to be in your Leo element. It's going to be a good summer for you, David. I'm predicting that for you. It's going to be fun, but I feel like there's somebody here that you're going to boo up. I think so. I think one of these folks that you run across is going to fit the bill for your big Leo heart, and I think that's going to be, I think you'll find love with that one. I think that feels like a match to me. It just feels like a vibe in a good way, So I do like that for you. Okay, I got you, Casey. I saw that come through. I got you, love. I hope that helps you, David. You'll have to let me know what you think about that. I think that looks pretty good. All right, let's see what we got. You know what? Let's see here. I think, Mystic, you may have sent your thing through. Okay, I got it. There it is. Whoop, there it is. All right, so let's see. Let's see who we got. I hope that helped you, David. And thank you, as always. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. So after Cassandra is Mystic, and then Casey. Let me update. There we go. There we go. Okay. What name did you book under, sweetie? Let me look. Let's see. Let me go back because I know you were saying something, Cloud. Let me go back in your chat and see if I missed something. Let's see here. I may have missed something, Cloud. I'll look though. Hang on a minute. Oh, this is you. You're next. You're Danae. Okay, Cloud, I got you. Okay, we got you, love. We got you. We got you. And you said you're dealing with a gem. And so she has asked, let's see. My son is Pisces, and we're looking at your Gemini X and how he feels and whether or not he might come toward you again. So let's see what's up. Oh, Mystic, you're after, I gotta redo this. I messed up. Give me 1 second, Danae. Give me 1 second. Okay, so after David is Danae, and then it'll be Beautiful, and then Cassandra, and then Mystic. But I gotta add Angel Eyes. Angel Eyes, are you here? Angel Eyes, are you still here, baby girl? If you are, let me know. If not, Birdie, you might have to pick somebody else. I think she may have left. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, Tara. So we did zodiac readings actually last night in the live stream. I can definitely put the link to that reading if you want. That was a collaboration. So it was a great all signs reading, Tara. And I'll be glad to put that in the link in the chat. But we're doing the paid readings tonight. I'll go get that link for you. And that way all you'll have to do is click on it and you won't be sorry. I promise you that. It was a fun collaboration that we did with Leo Fire. And I will get that for you real quick. Hang on 1 second. And there's timestamps and everything for you, Tara. There you go. Oh, you were there. Okay, I gotcha. Hey, Kim, how you doing? All right, Danae, I am so sorry that I took forever. I'm so sorry. All right. But anyway, Birdie, you may have to find somebody else to bestow your reading on, but we're good. All right, Danae. Here we go for real this time. Danae. Here we go. Danae. All right. You are a Pisces. We're dealing with a Gemini. How does my ex-Gemini feel about me? And will he ever come back around? Thank you, Casey. You're amazing. Here we go. Tell me. Okay, I got you, Birdie. I got you. I got you. All right. Tell me about this Gemini X's energy toward Danae the Pisces. Tell me about this Gemini X toward Danae the Pisces. Tell me about this Gemini X toward Danae the Pisces. Tell me about this Gemini X toward Danae the Pisces. Tell me about the Gemini X energies toward Danae the Pisces. Give me the Gemini toward Danae. 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 Give me this Gemini toward Danae, please. Give me the Gemini toward Danae the Pisces. So we have the Three of Pentacles, the Star in reverse, the Tower. Let me get more on the Three of Pentacles. His view is that you guys were doing okay, and then something kind of fell apart. That's how he sees things, Danae. That's how he sees things right now, is that you guys were doing okay, kind of plodding along at a slow pace, and then something happened and blew things up. The Tower. I'm going to see why. Tell me why. Tell me why that is. Tell me why that is. Magician in the reverse. Hangman in reverse. Page of Swords. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. The World. The Hermit. He kind of feels like this is his own. I think he feels like this is his own doing, Danae. He feels like, you know, that due to his own actions, okay, he feels like he made a rash decision and sabotaged things, all right? Hangman in reverse, Magician in reverse. He acted without thinking, and he did that because of trust issues. The Six of Pentacles in the reverse, so he pulled his energy back and has withdrawn, and in his mind, he feels better. Does he have emotion for you? He does have emotion for you, but he's in this with the Ten of Cups here, but he's in this energy of kind of feeling like trying to detach from those emotions and detach from the situation. Possibly be making kind of a head over heart decision. I think he didn't, from what I'm really gathering in this thing, it's almost like he subconsciously sabotaged this because he didn't want anything serious. He didn't want anything heavy or anything with any emotion, all right? And he felt like, what I'm getting from this is he felt like things got a little bit too heavy, so he detached. That may have been, he may have had feelings for you. He does have emotion for you. I think he just didn't want to. But yeah, King of Cups here in the reverse. I think the problem is, his problem is he just does not want to be emotionally vulnerable. King of Cups in reverse to the Moon card. He just didn't want anything that heavy. He just wanted something light. And I think when it got heavy on one side or both, he just kind of, you know, found a reason. Quite honestly, found a reason. With the Temperance card, the Five of Wands, it's like he created drama where there was none. Sometimes people will do that. So I want to see if he may come back toward you. And I want to talk about that friends thing too, Danae. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail once I see whether he's coming back around. And I'll give you my personal thoughts and the reason why I have those about being friend zoned. Can't decide which beer. What's his future actions towards Danae? What's his future actions towards Danae? What's his future actions toward Danae? What's his future actions toward Danae? What's this Gemini's future actions toward Danae, the Pisces? What's his future actions toward Danae, the Pisces? He will reach out to you. I do have an apology, but I don't have, I've got one-sided energy, and I get ultimately he will detach again. So I don't even know. I get him reaching out to you and apologizing, And with the Page of Cups and the Seven of Swords in reverse, and expressing regret or hoping that you don't feel played, or whatever. But is he going to give to this? No. Six of Pentacles in the upright, Nine of Pentacles, in the reverse, Nine of Pentacles in the upright. He's going to remain single and probably stress that he wants to stay friends. Now, I want to weigh in on this from a human behavior standpoint. Okay? Because this is not uncommon. And many times when you are dealing with someone who is emotionally immature, that lacks empathy, and that came out in the first part of this reading today. Emotionally immature with the King of Cups in reverse, and a lack of empathy with the Hanging Man in reverse. When you are dealing with someone like that, especially when they catch feelings, and he did, because we saw that too, okay, you will often run across someone who wants access to your energy without having to do anything. And that's what I believe you're dealing with here. And this is my problem, because sometimes not always, but sometimes when a person friend zones you, that's what's going on here. And my cards are literally screaming that that's what you're dealing with. All right. Now, you can do what you want to, Danae. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I will say this. Your energy and your time are precious. That is currency. And who gets access to those? He wants access to you because he has love for you, and he wants to feed off of your energy, but he doesn't want to give to this in terms of relationship or what have you. So I very much think if it were me, I would just cut off all communication and block him where he couldn't get access to my energy. That's just me. But you can definitely do with this as you please. But yes, you are welcome. I think that's what you're dealing with here. I have no doubt. And I am going to say something at the risk of pissing off people that have my own sign. I love being a Gemini, but just like every other low vibrational sign, Geminis have their quirks that they will struggle with. And this is particularly true for Gemini men. This is not uncommon for a Gemini man. Gemini men sometimes they don't catch feelings, but sometimes when they do, this is how they roll. If they're low vibrational and they're not emotionally mature and emotionally responsible, okay? It's one thing to have emotional intelligence. A lot of people have emotional intelligence, but I also like emotional integrity. You understand my emotions, you understand your emotions, that's a start. But are you acting with integrity when it comes to your emotions and my emotions? And this dude is not. He's not. He's well aware that he's got feelings for you. But that's what's up. That's what's up. Not all Gemini men bring down the curve. Be careful how you word that, Carissa. Not all Gemini men do that. And let me tell you, if you want to hear, and I'll just look at the risk of pissing another sign off. I talked with a Pisces man today that had the emotional intelligence of a Fruit Loop. Okay, so don't go picking out signs and saying this, that, or the other. All right. Yeah, I mean, any sign can be a douche canoe. I love Scorpios, but the most toxic person I've ever known in my life was a Scorpio. I love Virgos. My dad was a narcissistic Virgo. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater or you won't be talking to anybody. All right? So there you go. I mean, that's what's up. And so I feel like that's what you're dealing with, Danae. I feel like that's what you're dealing with, flat out. And again, you can handle this however you want. You can handle this however you want. But I don't think this man deserves access to you in any way. You got far too much to offer. You know, Pisces, and I'm going to say this about Pisces, especially, Pisces can be so, I talk about this in my readings. Pisces are some of the most loving, nurturing, caring people on the planet sometimes. And I will say that, as such, many times, people will think they can take advantage of Pisces, and sometimes they can, and sometimes they can't, right? But it's hard for air and water. It's hard, and I have a lot of water in my chart, and I even struggle, with water. And that's not to say I don't like water. I do. But by the same token, I just struggle because I just am so fucking impatient, and that's my fault. I'll own that, right? I'll own that. But I don't have a lot of patience, I just like very direct people, and, just tell me what's up, If you're mad, say you're mad and tell me why and give me an opportunity to fix it. And if it's a deal breaker, walk away. But if you sit there and wallow in victim mode or pout, I'm going to walk away because I ain't got the patience for that shit. Right? So, yeah. So, everything depends. I will talk to anybody and just see. I will give people a chance, but a lot of times that happens. Right? Yeah. I heard one girl, and I don't know this because I've never dated a Pisces before, but I heard one girl say that all Pisces men cheat, and I just scratched my head. I don't know. Maybe it's true. I don't know. But I've heard it about every sign. All Aries men, all Taurus men, all Gemini men, Virgo men are players. You can find somebody to hate on any sign. You really can. And that's why I'm just refusing to do that. That's me. Some of the best and worst people I have known were in the same sign, And you can miss out on a lot if you just rule out a whole sign, MC. Fair enough. Yeah. See, I've got earth, fire, water, and you got to look at the whole chart. Yeah. Trista, how you been? Good to see you, beautiful. So next up we have beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, am I picking and beautiful, you can text me. I am picking your questions, correct? Birdie, let me put you on the list. You can text me if you want, if you don't want to put it in the chat. But if you do, that's fine too. Let's see, I've got Casey. I'm going to put you behind Casey, Birdie. Hey, love. Okay, I gotcha. All right. Let me think on this a minute. What's around her that she may or may not know about romantically? Give me future. Let's look ahead. We're on beautiful. What's ahead romantically? What's ahead romantically? No, you're good, Cassandra. You're good. What's ahead romantically? What's in the future? What's in the future romantically? Connection wise, what's ahead romantically for beautiful? What's ahead romantically? Okay. There is someone here that you are heavy on their mind. To the point I think this person fantasizes. Eight of Swords, Knight of Wands, and I do think this person will break their silence. High Priestess in the reverse. Tell me more about that. Who is that? Is that a new person or a past person? Who is that? Could be somebody from a distance. With the Knight of Wands here. That would make sense. Oh! Oh boy, look at that. Okay, I know what that is. Oh! Who is this? Steph. This is crazy. Okay, first off, the reason I went, oh, is because I had a two. Oh, thank you, MC. And thank you, Trista. I had such a good time last night. But, okay, beautiful. There's two different energies that have shown up, and I've got two people popping up toward you, okay? I have someone who is apologizing for some sort of sabotage, okay? I have the Five of Swords in the reverse and the Magician in the reverse. I am concerned with that Magician of the reverse because that could be someone that is manipulative in general. Okay, beautiful? So, and I think we probably know who that is. I don't know how that person might pop up, but there's definitely this urge to do so, all right? So I want to see more on this. I want to drill down on this Magician in the reverse a little bit and see what we can pick up on that, because I think I know who that is. I think I know what that's about. But I'll talk about that other energy in a minute, but I want to drill down fully on this one first. Tell me more about this Magician in the reverse. Give me more about this Magician in the reverse. Strength reversed, Empress reversed, Star reversed. That's, yeah. I feel like that is a manipulative energy, and I didn't get a clear emotional manipulation, but what I did get was possibly someone that appeals to your sympathy and wants to make you feel sorry for them. With the Strength reversed and the Star reversed and the Empress reversed, that's underestimating you all day long, okay? That's underestimating you, and that's also kind of a poor me, So the manipulative energy was there. I feel like it's possible we could see emotional manipulation, but it's more indirect because it's more about poor me, I'm just so pitiful, that kind of thing. So in some way there will be that, and it may be, yes, exactly. It may be that since there is that obstacle with this person, it may be more of an indirect way of, like posting on someone else's stuff, hoping you'll see it and feel sorry, that kind of bullshit, right? It feels very passive to me with that one. All right, I want to go over here because here's what I pulled, just so you know, on the other energy. These are the two that came out. This is pretty damn good. This looks very nice to me, and this could go somewhere with the King of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Maybe it's an earth sign, maybe it's a Sagittarius, like MC said earlier. You cracked me up when you were talking about that, but it could be somebody with I like this energy because this feels like an optimist or a person that is, pretty happy-go-lucky. Pretty solid on that. I like that. I mean, it may be somebody with earth. You got a lot of people that you're talking to. You got a lot of people that you're talking to. What's interesting is whoever this this one has a lot of options too, which is good. I mean, that's fine. You don't want somebody that nobody else wants with, right? This one's going to reach out to you, though. This one's going to holler. Page of Cups, that's a message. So I like that. You may have, Three of Cups. Hell yeah. I like this person. I like this one. So I think you've got a lot of people around you. But I'm zeroing in on two that became main characters, if you will. This one over here, and we all know what that's about. And I think there's one in the ethers that's not far away. You may already even be talking to that one, and I'm not aware of it. But if not, you will be fairly soon. All right. Let's pull another question, because you booked two. You booked two. Let's see what we got. Tell me about, hey, Ms. Zanzi. So we're doing the paid readings tonight, Ms. Zanzi. Give me a projection on the career path. Give me a projection on the career path, career and money. Give me a projection on the energies. Oh, okay. I'll be curious to hear about that. I got you. I saw it come through, Jesse. I'm going to update in just a second, beautiful. All right, let's see. Tell me about career and money and the future there. Tell me about career and money. Tell me about career and money. Where is this going? Career and money. Where is this going? Career and money. Career and money. Career and money. Career and money. Stephanie, you've got to put boundaries up around somebody. Who is this that's taking advantage? Somebody's taking advantage of you. Thank you, Ms. Zanzi. I had a blast yesterday. Stephanie, who's taking advantage of you? Who's got their hand out? Six of Pentacles in reverse. There's somebody you need to cut off. Two of Swords, and you need to speak up about it. High Priestess in the reverse. You may need to call somebody out. It may not be financially. It could be in the workplace. And the cards are saying you know who this is. Five of Swords in the reverse. She already knows, Auntie Karen. Oh, who's jealous of your success? You got somebody jealous of your success. They need to go. Who in the hell is that? I don't know. But I will say this. You've got success in your future. You're going to keep on your path. The Six of Wands, your path is set for success. I will say that. But my cards are saying you know who this is. My cards are telling me that this person has said enough or done enough that you know who this is that's jealous of you. You already know who this is. I think that you got somebody wanting to see you fall down, and the more they send you yucky ass energy and the more they wish that you would fail, the more you're going to succeed. I get that. I literally get you just... What'd I tell you? King of Pentacles. I think this is what's going on. I think you've got some jealous person around you. And I think you know who it is. And I think they're sitting over here with you like this is you being successful, okay? Getting your accolades that are well earned, okay? And you've got somebody over going, you think you know who it is. Yeah. And what's crazy is the more they send that yucky ass hate energy toward you, you're just going, yes, like David Butcher said, you're transmuting the hell out of that shit. So I don't think you got to do a thing. I think you're on a good place. Okay. But I absolutely think, I don't know if this is a coworker or a friend or what, but this is, I don't, like Ms. Zancy said, haters be hating, right? You're famous when you're fighting the demons at work. I mean, this is the thing. If you got haters, that's a huge compliment. And it's actually I love hate energy. And I'll get it. I mean, I got a lot of people that watch me. And I mean, some people hate, and that's good. I love that when they sent me that free energy, because I'll just take that shit and transmute it. And it always helps, right? I'm hearing Toxic by Ashniko. You can't stand to see me shine, better buy a visor. Oh my God, that's so badass. You don't ever cross my mind. What's a sheep to a tiger? You talking money, I need a hearing aid. You talking whatever, I don't see the shade. Yeah. You figured them out. Exactly. So I think you're good. I think you're good. If you don't have haters, that's because you're not doing anything. The only people that don't have haters is because they're not doing anything that's impactful. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. I get it all the time and shrug it off. It says more about them than me. You damn right. You ain't even lying. You ain't even lying. All right, so after KC is Birdie, and then Trista, and then I got Jesse. You trigger them. Girl. I feel you. I feel you. Let them keep sending energy your way. You'll keep succeeding. And then you can literally sing to them, look what you've done. I'm a motherfucking star boy. He ain't lying, but I'm lying. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, there we go. Who are we on? Cassandra, where are you, beautiful? Let's get your advice, Cassandra. Cassandra had booked some advice. Let's get some overall advice for you, Cassandra. You are a Pisces, and you had asked a specific question about Ricky, but you paid for advice, so you don't get to ask anything when you pay for advice. I get to just pull whatever comes out. So that's what we're going to do for you, Cassandra. Let me timestamp for you real quick. Hey, MC. I'm not. I'm just doing paid readings, MC. I'm just doing paid readings, love. But no, MC, I laughed. Tarot and, what'd you say, tarot and karaoke? I know. I always get songs. Yeah, we did all signs last night, which I know you were there, MC. Listen, I laughed when you said that about Sagittarius earlier, MC, because I love Saggies. They're so fun. It's my sister sign, so I vibe with them usually. But yeah, I like Saggies. They're fun. They can be a hot mess, just like the rest of us, you know. But I do like them. I'll make something up if you want a reading. There you go. Tarot key. There you go. All right, let's read for Cassandra. Let's get Cassandra the Pisces some advice. What does Cassandra the Pisces need to know? 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 Give me some overall advice for Cassandra the Pisces, please. Give me the overall advice for Cassandra the Pisces. Give me the overall advice for Cassandra the Pisces. overall advice for Cassandra the Pisces. Star in reverse. Yeah, I saw the question, but you didn't pay for a question. You paid for advice, love. King of Swords and Three of Pentacles. So what I'm getting from this is that there is a need for you to heal some unhealed wounds and detach from a situation and start to rebuild within yourself. There may be something that you are holding on to with the Star in reverse that's causing further wounds that would be better for you if you released and let go. It's like you're holding on to something that's causing you further injury, okay? And you're not aware of it. Yeah, you're holding on to something from the past, possibly a past person, and it's got you blinded to what you need to see. There's a lesson here that you're not getting, and this past thing is trying to get you to a place of where you can learn to detach and heal and rebuild yourself, and that is calling you straight to shadow work. This has got you stuck and stagnant right now on your journey, and you absolutely need to get yourself unstuck. You're the only, absolutely stuck in the mud. Absolutely stuck in the mud. So you absolutely need to detach from that. You'll feel better. It's one-sided. Could be another third party. This person is just not wanting to take action towards you. And it's time for you to get to a place of being happy and single. And that's going to take time and work. Time and work and time. And right now, that's what I think your advice is. Go inside, do the work. Right now, you're giving away your power. You're more powerful than you realize, but you're not going to find that power until you go within, and then you will. And that's how it works. That's how it works. So that's what I got for you, Cassandra. That's what I got. Mystic! I got advice for you, Mystic. Let's see what we got. I know, but unfortunately, if we had sunshine and rainbows and forever love, we wouldn't work on ourselves. We would just stay stagnant. Unfortunately, human beings, you have to make us uncomfortable in order for us to motivate us to work and do anything and ascend. But shadow work is my thing. I have a 60-something videos on shadow work alone over on Patreon on how to do it, why it's important, and it's more than healing. Most people don't know that. Shadow work is much more than healing. In fact, Steph Beautiful Shadows, who is here in the chat, I don't mind, I won't say too much, but Steph and I work together. She works with me individually and does mentorship stuff, but she also watches a lot of my stuff on Patreon as well. And she is on a shadow work journey, and her intuitive and psychic abilities have gone through the roof since she has been working on herself, as well as her boundaries and stepping into her power. She has really overcome so much. Right? But your past doesn't have to hurt. So that's what's up. All right, let's read for Mystic. Let's read for Mystic. Thank you, Steph. I appreciate you. All right, give me some advice for Mystic the Taurus. Mystic the Taurus. Yes. Mystic, I'm gonna repeat this. Shadow work and integration is integral to being closer to your higher self and your highest vibrational timeline. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Birdie. I appreciate that. You're in that thing as well. You're on the journey too. So, yes, Granny Joey, shadow work is necessary. David. All right, what does Mystic the Taurus Sun need to know? What does Mystic the Taurus Sun need to know? What does Mystic the Taurus Sun need to know? What does Mystic the Taurus Sun need to know? I know, I'm proud of you, David. I did not know that. Congratulations. That makes several of us at the cottage right now that have had success with weight loss. So congratulations, David. What does Mystic the Taurus need to know right now? What does Mystic the Taurus need to know right now? What does Mystic the Taurus need to know right now? Mystic, here's what I got. Mystic, I feel you may intuitively be picking up a vibe about something, or you may have already. Okay, let me just tell you what I see here. I don't know where you are on this timeline, but here's what I got. I think initially you picked up a vibe. This is either a family situation, probably, or workplace, or money issue, okay? Because we're talking pentacles, and I know you read, so you kind of know. This is all pentacles. And I think you're into, I think you extended an olive branch in a certain direction. And it could have been a friend, family member, or it could have been in the workplace, okay? There's some kind of olive branch, or, you know, like you approached a situation with a cooperative attitude and mentality, even though you may have been picking up a vibe that, this may or may not go well. And you came to the conclusion, damn, I was right. This has not gone well. And I think your intuition is, I think you may walk away from this thing thinking, wow, that was just wasted energy. But I say no. I say it wasn't wasted energy. And I think you're drawing boundaries with the situation. I think you're standing in this, you've got this Queen of Cups energy that you're coming in as. And she's in the upright, but she's looking away from this situation. What? Oh my gosh. But I think you have love for whoever you were dealing with, but at the same time, I think you're having to set a boundary and say, I do love you, but I love myself more. And I think you're carrying yourself with a lot of emotional integrity when it comes to a situation. And so I feel like the advice here is to confirm that you are handling this exactly in a healthy way. But I do want you to remember it's not a loss, because here's why. When you extend an olive branch, and then you know for sure, but if you never extended the olive branch to begin with, then you wouldn't know. And so when you walk away from a situation like that, you can say with peace in your heart that you did your best and you did your part to make a situation go well. So don't think of it as a loss. Think of it as, I know I did everything I could, if that makes sense, within reason. I carried myself with emotional integrity, and I'm going to keep doing that. So I love that for you. And I hope that that helped. You tell me if that gave you some confirmation that you needed. I hope so. It's not a loss. He owned the house. Let's see, he owned the house. I was the only one that did anything, and I just couldn't do it on my own. I gotcha. Okay. All right. I gotcha. Yeah. And I think you probably are thinking of or have already set a boundary, and I think you've done so in a very responsible way. a very healthy way. He wanted me to help. It was time to let go. There you go. It was on my Pluto line. Boom! There you go. Let that tower fall. So there you go. There's your confirmation. I hope that helped you. I hope that helped you. My cards say that you have absolutely nothing, that you have wow, the devil card, the tower card. The devil card and the advice. Speak your mind. Let the chips fall where they may, and if a tower falls, so be it. And then right behind that, the tower. And the advice on the tower is, let that bitch fall. Let it fall. Right? What? There you go. You were probably feeling good then when you visited Alabama if your Venus and Sun were on the line. Yep, you probably had a good time. Let the bodies hit the floor. David, you're funny. That's what I got. Let's read for KC. Let's read for KC. I don't know if she's still awake, but if not, she'll catch it tomorrow. Let's read for KC. You felt amazing, right? Let's read for my beautiful KC Gemini buddy. By the way, happy birthday, Gemini. Happy birthday to Stephanie. To KC. There she is. Hi, beautiful. All right, KC. Give me a message for KC. Relate it to her birthday. Relate this to her upcoming year, her solar return. What can you tell me for KC? What can you tell me for KC, the beautiful Gemini? What can you tell me for the beautiful Gemini KC? What about her? Tailor this around her solar return, please. What can you tell me? What can you tell me for my Gemini friend? What can you tell me for KC? What can you tell me for KC? What can you tell me for KC? Oh, did you? Oh, did you? Well, I'm sure where are you going? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're going somewhere. What are you doing? Hey, Ali Krista. That move that you're considering, that you've not mentioned to anybody, you know the one. You're considering a lot of things, but you're considering making a move. What is this move? It's career oriented, I feel. It's okay. You're in your head about something, my sweet Gemini. You're in your head. I feel like you're looking at making some sort of, I don't know if it's a physical move or a job move or both. Okay. I think that you may be keeping this under wraps. Oops. And I think you're in your head about this. 8 of Swords. Maybe because you worry about this costing money, being a financial and an energetic investment. I see you recouping that. I do see you recouping that. But something has you tied to what you're really, man, whoo, you're really looking at, do I stay with where I am comfortable? Or do I take a leap of faith? I don't have a leap of faith card. What? Oh, that's your kind of moving. Okay. Do I stay with what I'm comfortable with, or do I go with what makes me feel passionate and young? Is this like a, I feel like I honestly, seeing what I see, Casey, what I feel like is where I was when I got my Bronco. And I'll tell you what that was like. I had a beautiful candy apple red Camry, and I loved it. I loved my Camry. And I had zero complaints about it and everything great. And I still have everything great to say about that Camry. And my daughter talked very soon, talked about me. She talked me into test driving this Bronco, right? And the Bronco was sporty and fun, and it's red too. And well, I was like, man, and you know, Toyotas are so reliable. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not sorry, by the way. And I did trade the Toyota. I did trade. I did trade. And I would have been happy with that Toyota. I would have been very happy with that Toyota. I would have been safe. I would have been fine. I loved it. It drove great. It flew, which you know how we are, Casey. So I kind of feel like you're looking at this and saying, do I go with something comfortable, or do I go with something that makes me feel sporty and youthful, and do I just bite it off? Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Whatever you spend on that car, you're going to make up. You're going to get it back. I'm getting that too. I'm getting that. It is a fun car. My Bronco is a fun car. I love it. So let me know, Casey, and congrats on the new job. Congrats on the new job. I'm excited for you for that. It's okay to be young again. It's gonna, whatever you're looking at, you're gonna have fun in. You're gonna have fun. Let me know if that helps, Casey. It sounds like a great birthday present to yourself, actually. Hey, female Pisces, I have a ridiculously fast, luxurious car, and I don't want to get rid of it. Oh, well, in that case, maybe it's that you need to stay with what you've got. If you've got a ridiculously fast and luxurious car, you've got a Gemini car. You do. I love that, Trista. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing. Is this a practical versus passionate decision for you, Casey? I just feel like that's what this is. Do I need to be practical, or just can I have fun? Why not both? I love that for you, Trista. Absolutely, David. I can buy myself flowers and luxury cars. Damn right. I would keep what you, if you've got a fun car, keep it. Keep it. Keep it. You have a V12, is that really necessary? No, but neither is my pool with the waterfall fountains in the backyard either. But I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Hey, Birdie, I got you. I'm coming up on you. But yeah, a V12, necessary? Depends on how you define necessary. Yes, yes, it's necessary. But I hope that helps you. Fast and Furious with some miles on it, right? Thank you. Jesse is saying it to you. It's absolutely necessary. There you go. And Jesse is a Taurus. Okay, so if a Taurus says it, it's an earth sign giving you some really good advice there, Casey. There you go. I love that. You got a Ranger. Those are great little trucks. I love that. I say go for it. I say keep what you got. Yes, your V12 is necessary. Yes. It is necessary. Have you seen the gas prices? Well, yeah, but I haven't seen your paycheck, but I can imagine you got it. Hell, just buy a second car. Don't ask me for financial advice. I'll really get you screwed up. Yeah. If you enjoy it, it's necessary. Yeah, and actually, Taurians are all about the finer things. Taurians have an appreciation for the finer things, right? You're welcome. I hope that helped you, Casey. And happy birthday. All right. We got you, Birdie. We got you. I got you. I'll scroll back to your question in just a second, Birdie. I got to update my list. Casey, thank you as always. I think Alejandra, and I may have not said that right, and my apologies if I did not, but let me update the list real quick. I laughed, Casey. I saw that King of Swords, and I could totally see you just going, I just need to be practical. This is just insane. I need to be a mature air sign. My question, Casey, is why do you have to be a mature air sign? Where is it written? Casey, it is Gemini season. Uranus is in Gemini. It is time for you to fly your flag, right? Of whatever. All right, let's see what's up with this question for Birdie. Let's see what we got, love. All right, here we go, Birdie. Let's see what we got with relation to this girl that you recently have been spending time with at the beach. You want to know the energies there? You want to know if it's too soon? Yes, it is too soon. I don't have to pull cards on that, Birdie. It's too soon. You need to be single as a Pringle. You don't need to be romancing with anybody. But I can pull cards on it for you. Birdie, you know how I am. I'm going to tell you what's up. I'm going to tell you what's up. But let's pull cards on this situation. I hate having to be Matua Mizanzi. Tell me the energies, the joint energies between these two. Tell me the joint energies between these two. Tell me the joint energies between these two going forward. How does this look? Oh, she painted that? Oh, yeah. Yes, that's scary. Tell me the joint energies between these two. Take care, Steph. Love your face. Tell me the joint energies between these two. 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 Eight of Swords. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Magician. Why the Magician? Why the Magician? Why the Magician? I think I know, but the Magician. Give me the Magician. Give me the Magician. Now, it's very soon for that. Very soon. I feel like this is, okay, so this is a manipulative thing, Birdie. This is a manipulative thing all day long. That's why the Magician showed up. I wanted to know, and yes, I do. I don't think this woman is completely honest about her intentions with the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse and the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands in reverse. I don't like her motives. I don't like her motives. I knew that being this soon, it was one or the other. It's either for somebody to do something like that at this juncture, this soon, that's going to be a red flag in and of itself. But the reason that that it is so problematic is because one of two things: either she's desperate because she's moving so fast, right, or she's after something. And in this case, she's after something, and we're talking Pentacles. So yeah, you've got a huge red flag, and we found out what's behind the red flag and why she's moving so fast. That's what's up. So this is, the motive is Pentacles. That's the motive. And she's not being straight up with you, the Two of Swords here. She may even be non-committal. There could be another person in the picture that you're not knowing about. But the Queen of Wands is here in the reverse. That's somebody, sometimes that can be somebody who is not authentic, not being authentic. With regard to, she wants to take a leap of faith, and I will tell you that she wants to hook you with the Ace of Cups and the Fool card, but the Seven of Swords is here in the reverse. So she's not being straight up about why, okay? And you will see. Cards are kind of saying you'll find out, but she's not being straight up with you. She's not being honest. Hangman came out in the reverse, Judgment in the reverse, obstacles. I also feel like she's got some past energy that's unresolved with the Judgment card here in the reverse. That's an obstacle here. Three of Cups to the Ten of Swords. I think she would be here for a good time, but not a long time. That's what I got. Yeah, big red flag. Beautiful painting, but far too soon. Yeah. That's what I got. That's what I got, Birdman. Do you mean Rich Lop? Leon, thank you, love bug. Have a great night. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. I mean, the Devil card can mean a lot of things, but it's, you know, it can be obsession, it can be addiction, it can be a lot of things. You're welcome, Birdman. You're welcome. I hope that helped you. Yeah. And different readers interpret differently. You know, intuitive readers don't have just a very clear-cut meaning behind the cards. It can mean many different things. It's not always as simple as just straight up always mean that. That's why, I mean, you pull the cards, but cards are just clues. Cards are just clues. And it depends on the context of the reading, too. The devil can be telling somebody to stand up for themselves. So it's not always a bad card. All right. This is Miss Trista. What's up, beautiful? Right now, this deck that I'm using is my favorite, Gilded Tarot Royale, and it is a joint venture between Ciro Marchetti and Barbara Moore, which Ciro Marchetti is my favorite artist, and I love Barbara Moore cards as well. But this is a Ciro Marchetti deck, and it is called Gilded Tarot Royale. I also use Everyday Witch a lot, and I've got other decks that I use depending. I have certain decks that I like to use for certain signs when I'm doing individual readings sometimes. I like the Edgar Allan Poe deck a lot. I use that for the Scorpios a lot. Teen Witch I use for Geminis a lot. I have an owl deck that I use a lot, but this is just my go-to. My go-to. All right, so Miss Trista, let's read for you. Trista's got investment number 1 and investment number 2. Which one should I focus on more, if either of them? All right. So number 1 is SCHD. Any energies around SCHD as an investment? SCHD. SCHD. Give me the energies, please, around SCHD as an investment. Give me the energies around SCHD. This one feels riskier, but that's not always bad. SCHD. Give me SCHD. Give me SCHD. Ooh, 2 of Pentacles. The Devil. The High Priestess in the reverse. Wow. Okay. Okay, this one is going to be like a roller coaster, all right? And it's going to, let me tell you, this is crazy. Now I understand why I got the 4 of Swords in reverse as the jumper on this thing, Trista. I think this one is going to, I think it overall could be successful, okay? But I don't think it's going to be a journey where you just lay your head on the pillow at night with this thing and go, I know I can rest easy. That one's fine. You know what I'm saying? I think there's going to be turmoil. I think there's going to be ups and downs about this thing. All right. I get a lot of ups and downs, but overall I get you making money on it. But I get it keeping you up at night. I get it being worrisome and bothersome and stressful to deal with. And so much so that I question, is it worth it? Is there something better out there? I think it's a moneymaker, SCHD, but I think it's a risky one, and it looks volatile to me. It looks very volatile. I kind of feel like this. Yeah. They're going to have, here's what I feel, Trista. If this is a company, they're going to have changes in leadership. And that's going to be some of what creates this tumultuous energy. Okay. I think it's going to be up and down, up and down. So that's what I got on SCHD. We're going to look at now NVDA. NVDA for you, Trista. NVDA, please. Give me NVDA. Give me NVDA. NVDA. Give me NVDA. Give me NVDA. Give me NVDA. Okay. Yeah, that could be. It could be the top companies changing around. Give me NVDA. Give me NVDA. Give me NVDA. I like this better. I like this better. What it feels like to me is this one. I'm getting the that this thing is going to be kind of low key good for a period of time, low key good, and then it's going to rally and get good, really good down the line. So I think when you first delve into this, it may kind of be, it's not going to rock and roll badly, okay, or anything like that. It actually looks stable all along. It doesn't look unstable. And it kind of just looks like it's just going to do this a little bit, just a slow rise, and then it's going to do this. Okay, so that does make sense. Okay, so that's what I think about NVDA. I think, and I get the energy of a rallying. Okay, in other words, I think they're okay and they do pretty well, and then this rally, and I feel like this is a rally. So what that tells me is that possibly NVDA may have undergone some sort of restructuring or some sort of a challenge. They may be low right now on their pricing. That may be why it may be a good time, you know, if they're low priced right now, because I think that it's going to do this for a little bit and then it's going to rally. And I literally just feel that rally energy. And you let me know if that makes sense to you with what you know about NVDA, but that's how I predict that will go. That's what I think is going to happen with NVDA. And I hope that that helps you, Trista. I love doing business reads, Greeny Joey. It's fun. Really has been stable for a bit. Okay, good. So that makes sense to you then, Trista. But I think they're going to have this point where they just go, woo, in a good way, right? Carissa, I got you on the list. I think that's a safer one. That's how I think. You think it's undervalued right now. Okay. So there you go. You're hearing that it's undervalued. Why is this not doing? There we go. I love reading for you on business stuff. So it's been helpful. I'm glad to hear that. It's been helpful. So I'm doing pretty good on my investment reads for you, Trista. Because I've been reading for you for a minute on your investments. I love reading for you. It's fun. Robert says I'm accurate. He says so. Well, I hear you, Greenie Joey, but you know where the views are. You know where the views are. You do a money read, people ain't gonna watch it, sadly. I mean, I like doing love readings, and my passion is love readings because so many people struggle with that area, but business reads are definitely fun. Good deal, Birdie. I'm glad to hear that. But I love doing business readings. I really do. Some people stick to one niche, and that's fine. I get it. But it's really not hard to transfer the meanings of the cards from one to the other, right? But that's how I roll. Miss Jessie, what you doing, Miss Taurus Jessie? How you doing? Let's read for Jessie. But I'm glad that helped you, Trista. I'm glad that helps you. I know, Birdie. I swear, Birdie, on that cabin one, I literally got the specifics on that. That was crazy. That was crazy, wasn't it? Whenever I read about the cabin and that investment doohickey. Right? So, all right, let's look at Jessie real quick. Let's go, Jessie. Give me a general reading for Jessie. What is it that Jessie needs to know? It is for me, David. It is for me. It's one and the same. What does my friend Jessie the Taurus need to know? What does my friend Jessie the Taurus need to know? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were a dude. All right, Jessie the dude. What does Jessie the dude need to know? Jessie the Taurus dude. What does Jessie the Taurus dude need to know? Good bird. Good birdie. What does Jessie need to know? Jessie the Taurus. Give me Jessie the Taurus. Give me Jessie the Taurus. What? Okay. Okay, listen. Here's what I got, Jessie. What the hell is going on in your life? I don't know, but I got some conflict or drama. I think it's around you, all right? I don't think you're instigating this. I think it's around you. And I think you're being called to see this for what it is, okay? And what I get is it's okay to recognize there are some people you cannot reason with. With the Six of Swords, they're just going to keep going back to their bullshit, the drama, the conflict. And I feel like you're in a situation where it would be very easy to fall into a pattern of responding to people when they are trying to bait you or trigger you or drag you in or make their problems your problems or their battles your battles, okay? This is about choosing where to put your energy and what's worth your time, okay? and realizing that some people need to fight their own battles, and you, by staying in your lane, can let them. And sometimes you got to let people be wrong. Sometimes you got to let people make decisions. Sometimes you got to honor their right to stay in a low vibration. Their right to choose to stay in a low vibration, but you don't have to go with them. And you don't have to let them pull you in to drama or conflict or fighting their battles, okay? This is about you viewing your energy as currency. Your time is valuable. Your energy is valuable, and your effort is valuable. And you use it wisely. Whoa, that's crazy. And so you got to realize that some people are just going to, you got to see people for what they are. The Seven of Swords in the reverse. You got to see where they are. You don't have to be with them, and you don't have to be around them. But you also got to see people for where they're coming from and what decisions they're making, and let them make their own decisions, and let them screw up their lives if they want to. That's part of the learning process. That's part of the journey. I know I've screwed up a lot of my life, but at the same time, that's how I learned, right? You gotta let people. You gotta let people do their own thing, and if there's drama and conflict around you, you just leave it right there. You stay in your lane. You stay focused on your own goals, your own passions, your own dreams. All right, and you let other people do what they're gonna do. People gonna do what they're gonna do, and the sooner we accept that and make peace with that, the better. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got one job, save you. You got one job, stay on your own lane, in your own lane. You got one job, follow your own heart, your own instinct, your own passions. And you won't, and as long as you are doing that with integrity, and carrying yourself in a way that you feel proud of and good about, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So I definitely feel like there's people around you that may try to prey on your vulnerabilities, may try to play on your weaknesses, may try to get you to not honor your boundaries. But you need to build your boundaries. It's funny because I recently had a conversation with somebody about boundaries. You need to build your boundaries on a very solid foundation of self-love and self-respect. And then they're non-negotiables. Well, that's just it. You don't need to be the savior. You can't save other people. You can't. It's impossible. And what'll happen is if you try to save other people, you'll end up drowning with them. Oh, it does not. I'm not fine. Yeah, not fine. Done. Okay, I misunderstood. Good. I'm done being the white knight saving people that don't want to be perfect. Okay, so you get it. Yeah. And when you build your boundaries on a solid foundation of self-love and self-respect, you don't even have to yell them, you don't have to scream them, and you don't have to explain them. But they just are unshakable. It's just a non-negotiable. And you don't people can't drop boundaries. You may drop your standards, you may ignore red flags. People sometimes will ignore red flags and say they dropped a boundary. No. If you ignored a red flag, it's because you didn't have a boundary to begin with. Because if you ignore a red flag, that tells me that you've got some self-esteem, self-respect issues. So when you build those boundaries on something solid, people can't. It's just a no-brainer. It's just, oh, you did this, okay, you're gone, right? if that makes sense. So that's what I feel. So keep your focus. Stay focused on the future and where you're going and where you're headed. And don't waste, and sometimes that's a lonely path. It'll make your circle a lot, yes, I can't console the inconsolable, absolutely. And it's going to make your circle a lot smaller, and that's okay. It'll also be a lot more peaceful. If you do that, all right? And you'll find yourself, your energy coming back to you. You'll find yourself rejuvenating yourself, right? So that's what I feel. Yes. The worst thing in the world that we did was paint the story of, the knight in shining armor that rescues Cinderella. That's just so unrealistic. And we do that, and it's very toxic that we teach our children that, for both guys and girls, right? Yeah, loneliness is a choice. Exactly. Exactly. You don't have to be, right? So I like that. You stay on your path, you stay on your journey, and you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. Anything else that Jesse needs to know? Anything else that Jesse needs to know? Any other words of advice for Jesse? I keep getting travel vibes for you, Jesse. Travel or relocation. Totally different topic. Yes, there's your confirmation. I've got some upcoming travel for you, and I think you should go for it. I think you should go for it. Am I right about this? Or do you know about this? Or has this happened yet? You may be going on the road. You may be going on the road. What else? There is definitely some friends of yours that need to go. Or have you recently cut out, right? But that's what I got. That's what I got. I love that. Love, love, love it. Let me know if that helps you. No plans to travel other than with your band. I feel like this is career related. I think this is with your band. I truly do. I think it's work related. I didn't see that in the cards, but I definitely do. But I think you've got more than you even realize. I think your band is gonna. I think, Jesse, what I feel is that the upcoming travel that you have, there's either going to be more or extended or something like that than you know about. That's what I feel. Y'all give me just a second. I think your band is, I think you're going to see the music picking up in like a good way. So that's good. Moving my business to my home. Okay, that could be too. That could be what I'm seeing. I also feel like this, Jesse. I feel like if you have had some sort of energy issues around health or your energy levels, that's going to be better. I think that's going to get better. Or money. It could be money. But I feel like your energy is going to get better. I am picking that up as well. Hey, Mocha Luscious. How you doing? Y'all give me 1 second. After I do this, I'm going to read for Alejandra and Carissa, and then we'll call it a day. But I am closing down the mini reads as far as, okay, there we go. All right, I'm good now. Getting over an injury. I see you getting better. Hip impingement. Okay. That's going to get better. You're gonna fully recover. I don't often read about stuff like that, but when I get it, I tell you. So, Alejandra, are you ready, love bug? We are ready to read for Alejandra. Let's see. Let me timestamp for you, love. Alejandra is wanting to know about Justice the Gemini. Is there potential with Justice the Gemini if we reconnect? And Alejandra is a Pisces. Is there potential between a reconnect? If a reconnect happens, is there potential between Alejandra the Pisces and Justice the Gemini? Just a backstory, you're talking on and off until he moved to the city. Hit it off, but he only wanted casual for now, so I ended things. Okay. First reading. Well, thank you for booking with me. Thank you for booking with me, Alejandra. Let's see what the potential is between you and this Gemini for reconnection and how that might go. Let's pick up on the energies here. Give me the energies here. Give me the energies here. Wow. Give me energies of this connection. How this would go between these two, please. The joint energies. Alejandra and Justice. Is there potential for growth? Is there potential for growth? What's this look like between these two if there's a reconnection? Temperance, Knight of Cups, Devil. Why the Devil card? Three of Cups, Four of Swords in the reverse, Five of Cups. Okay, so here's what I have. I think the Gemini is kind of in the same place. And what I get, Alejandra, is that I think the Gemini would be a lot of fun and would, I think you and the Gemini would have good times together, okay? But I think if you are looking for something with depth or anything that might be lasting or significant, I don't see it. I feel like if you are hoping for something more, and I think you are based on the cards, than something fun and free and light, I think you would find yourself disappointed. I think you would find yourself disappointed. I think the Gemini is just really not looking for anything other than something light and fun. I think the Gemini just is wanting to enjoy their life. Quite honestly, this looks very much, it could be something that even goes sexual between you and the Gemini. That could be another reason the Devil card is here. But the Gemini may have some issues beyond that with that Devil card. I don't think the Gemini wants to mislead you. I really don't. I don't get that the Gemini wants to mislead you for this to be anything other than what it is, which is odd. But I think this Gemini, for whatever reason, is just not looking for something beyond something casual. And that's what I get. So I think he's still in the same place. I think he's still in the same place. And I think if you were to go down that road with the Gemini, if you go into it not expecting anything other than just a good time and some fun and some frivolity, I think you'd be fine. But I think if you're hoping, yeah, something intentional. And I don't think anything is here intentional. I just don't. I think you would find yourself, disappointed. It's possible that you would catch feelings for this Gemini. He was very transparent. Okay, and good for that, and honest from the start. Good for that. I think if you can go into that without catching feelings, then you would be okay. But I think if you catch feelings, you might find yourself, you know what I'm saying, disappointed. How have I been? I was today years old when I realized that there is Reese's Peanut Butter Cup whiskey. What in the world? Where have I been? I love Reese's. That's one of my weaknesses. Crown Royal chocolate sounds amazing too. But yes, Alejandra, I think if you can go into this and be okay with that, then you're okay. But if you find yourself starting to catch feelings, you know what I'm saying? Be careful of that. I don't dislike the Gemini, but I think the Gemini has some issues. I don't know what they are. But I think the fact that he's been transparent and honest, I have to give him credit for that, you know? I know, Alejandra, I know, sweetie. And I would worry about you from that respect. Because I don't want to see you break your heart. You know what I mean? I don't want to see you put yourself in a situation where you might, you know what I'm saying, catch feelings. Because Pisces are so loving. And look, I love being a Gemini. I'm proud of this guy for being transparent. I'm gonna be real with you. I have a lot of respect for him for being transparent with you. I have to say that. Oh, it was a joke. I took you serious, David. I took you serious on that. So you don't think anything? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think to go into it, see, here's the problem, and I get where you're at. I run across this sometimes, Alejandra, and let me tell you what I run across. I don't want you to be this girl, okay? Hear me out. If you were to go down this road and catch feelings, you might come to me a year from now and say, Auntie Karen, I don't know what to do. You know, I've been dating this guy for a year. We've been hanging out for a year, and you know, he's just not committing. And what's the deal? And I'll pull cards on him, not knowing. Now, I'm not saying you would do this, but I'll pull cards on him, not knowing, and I'll be like, I'll see in the cards, maybe he told you ahead of time. And I don't want you to be that girl a year from now calling this guy a jerk for not committing to you whenever he told you up front what his intentions were, right? You don't want to be that girl. And this happens a lot more, because girls will go into this thing thinking, I can make him catch feelings for me. No, you can't. No, you can't. Not with this one. But at least he's been honest about it. So I don't want you to go into this thing and put on those amazingly beautiful Piscean rose-colored glasses and think that you can convince this guy that you're worth committing to. You're absolutely worth committing to. And I think he knows that, which is why he's been respectful enough to you to be upfront with you about it. But just because you're worth committing to doesn't mean that he's the guy that's, you know, wearing the pants big enough to do it. Does that make sense? That's what I got. Yeah, honesty points. Now, if it were me, I would be all over it, because that would be perfect for me. But I'm a Gemini. We're different, you know, and that's okay. So that's what I got, love. That's what I got. You know, I think he's been straight up with you, and I think you can expect him to go with exactly what he told you. Yeah. If you're trying to date with intention, and that's okay. I completely respect people that date with intention. He's a waste of your energy. If you're in a place where you only want to date with intention or with something that could have a future, he ain't your guy. But I don't think he's a douche canoe at all. I don't think he's a bad dude. I like him. I'd be friends with him. And I will say this, Alejandra. If you get in a jam and need a +1 and nobody's to go with you, if you need a +1 to go somewhere to a wedding or whatever and you don't want to go by yourself, you could call him up and he'd be fine. I guarantee you. You definitely catch. See, that's what I would worry about for you. See, Trista, I've done the same thing. Alejandra, she says, I did that one time. A guy kept telling me that he's not looking for anything, not ready for a relationship, and it just didn't land. It didn't land with me. I've done it. I've done it. But I don't think this is a bad guy. But I tell you this, Alejandra, keep his number. Because you could call him and say, listen, I need a +1. Or look, if you just get, if you just get in this place, you're like, I want to go out and all my friends are busy. Will you go out with, and we'll go out and hang out? He'd go. He'd absolutely go. So he'd be a good +1. Yes. He'd be a good guy to have as your +1, if that makes sense. But I don't know. But don't catch feelings. Don't do that. Now, see, here's the difference. Being friends with somebody like that is totally different than the situation that I picked up on before. And that was actually a Gemini Pisces dynamic too. This guy he's cool with friendship. He's good. He's a cool one. So yeah, I hope that helps you. But if you can't hang out with him and not catch feels, guard your heart, love. He's a good time, but he's not a long time. I had somebody message me one time a while back on a dating site. Really cute guy. And at the time, I was dating with intention. And we bantered for a minute back and forth and just had the best banter, just a great banter. We really had a good vibe. And he said, listen, I'm going to be straight up with you. He said, you seem like a great girl. And he said, I find you very attractive. And he said, I'm really just looking, for a friends with benefits thing. I'm not looking for anything. He was very upfront and honest. And at that time, I was in a different place and I was dating with intention and I wasn't really wanting to waste my time with anybody. But he was straight up, he was upfront, and he said, but if that bothers you, I totally respect that. I just want to be straight up with you up front. And I told him, I said, let me tell you something. I said, I appreciate your honesty. And I said, I have a lot of respect for you, and you are not a player because you've been up front with me. And do you know, even though he had totally different dating goals at the time, we would sometimes talk to each other, just, hey, how's your dating life going? I went out with this one girl, and I went out with this guy, and we stayed friends. And that was fine. I had all the respect in the world for somebody that was in that, because he was honest. So, yeah. Yeah, I told him, I said, you're not a player. I said, you're not a player. I said, you're a nice guy. Now, if I wish I could run across him now. I might entertain it now, but I wouldn't take him serious, But I had different goals then. Changed. But Carissa, you are up next, my love. Man, what is it with these Gemini Pisces? This time Carissa's the Pisces and Carissa's the Gemini and the guy is the Pisces. All right, let's see about it. Yeah, should have kept that. He was a hottie too. He was a little hottie. He's probably done got booed up by now. Who knows? That was a long time ago. All right, Carissa, let's see what's up. It's another Gemini. Tonight is the night for Gemini Pisces, right? All right, so she's dealing with a Pisces. She is a Gemini like moi. Rosetta says, what about speed dating? That sounds like a hoot. I would totally do that. I would totally do that. It does sound fun. Because I can ask 3 questions and know right away if I'm taking this person seriously or not. Depending on what sometimes I don't even need 3. All right, let's see about this future with these two. Carissa the Gemini and the Pisces man. Is there a romantic relationship with each other in our future? Tell me about the energies between these two. Tell me about the energies between Carissa the Gemini and this Pisces man that she is interested in. Give me the energies between these two. Carissa and the Pisces. Carissa the Gemini and the Pisces. Good Lord. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Carissa the Gemini and this Pisces. I love it, Jesse. He's my coworker. We've been flirty, but recently got a promotion. He did. So I don't see him as much, and he's focused on work. Where's the Capricorn in his chart? Carissa the Gemini and the Pisces. Carissa the Gemini and the Pisces. Carissa the Gemini and the Pisces. Is there potential here? So I have the Justice card. I have the Ace of Cups. I have the, why is the Three of Swords here? I see him coming towards you. This looks like he has interest, but it looks like it might be a false start. Possibly. Why is that here? Carissa. I think the third party might be work. Maybe? What is this? I think there's potential for something to happen here, but I think this would end bad between you two. Because they're separated-ish right now. I think this would end bad between you two. I'm not 100% sure this guy in a marriage or something. I'm not 100% sure he's not an addict. I think there's something here. There's a toxicity here. What I could see is that it's possible that he is in a marriage and he may be separated, and you may not know that. There's also this possibility, the Devil card is here, there's also this possibility that he's got an addiction. There is something here related that keeps him. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. His life is very out of balance. I can tell you that. And he's not. I feel like I feel like there's something wrong here. He's got the Hierophant, man. I think you may not know it. I think there may be a divorce that has not happened. He may be out of touch and away from his wife, but I think legally he may still be married. Could be addicted to work, possibly with the Devil card and the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. I think there would come this point in time where you would feel ignored with the King of Swords in reverse, and you would feel like he's not into you with the Ace of Wands in reverse. And the Three of Swords here, the third party may be work, but the Five of Cups here. Accurate? Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe the Hierophant is here because he feels like he owes himself to work and like it's the right thing to do. I know he's a Pisces. He wasn't ever married and very single. I know he's a Pisces, but I swear to God, he feels like a workaholic. And I kind of feel like there's some heavy ass Capricorn or Saturnian energy somewhere behind that Pisces sun that remains a mystery. But he is, I think that you would feel like, I think in this case, the third party is work. I think that's the Three of Swords. I think that's why that's here. Do I think he would come toward you? I do, with the Ace of Cups here. I absolutely think he would. And I think in his mind, he doesn't want to do badly toward you. He wants to carry himself with integrity. Okay, because the Justice card, that was the very first card out. Okay, but I think he just is married to work. And I think his life is out of balance. Sometimes that Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it can mean a number of different things. It can certainly speak to laziness, but sometimes it can speak to workaholism, to where you work so much that you burn yourself out even to the point of diminishing returns, and your life can be really out of balance. But you feel like you're doing the right thing. You feel like you're doing what's expected of you with that Hierophant. I almost feel like with the Hierophant, whether you know it or not, and this Saturnian energy that I'm picking up, there's daddy issues with this guy. You may or may not know this. I think there's daddy issues, and I think that the daddy issues are, and I can speak to this, my chart is very Saturnian. I think his daddy may be long dead and gone. I'm not saying that he's not, but I think daddy is in his ear, in his mind, and rolling that you got to work if you want to be worth anything. And he thinks his worth is tied to his work. I think the Hierophant is here because he's got daddy issues. Seriously. He's got some wounds. And I think you would feel like you were competing with somebody that you couldn't compete with, if you know what I mean. He has family pressure. There you go. There you go. Because that Devil card, that's that Saturnian energy. The Devil card is Capricorn, and it's also that Saturnian energy, and it can be an addiction to work. And it, sometimes depending on Saturn in this guy's chart and how everything all plays out in his chart, it could be somewhere, who knows? I mean, there's so many different ways that could be playing out. But when you get Capricorn and Saturn aspecting certain things or playing in certain things, or you get a 10th house stellium, something of that nature, then you get somebody who gets very confused about their self-worth, and they can struggle with feeling like the only way they have value in this world, or especially with daddy, is through success and accomplishments. And I think you would feel ignored. I think you would feel ignored. So do I see him coming towards you? I do. I think that I see a solid offer here. But I also feel like, he's in his earning phase. Yeah, see, probably a lot of times people with Saturnian challenges in their chart, they don't often break through that. Some never do, but if they do, it usually is later in life. So I think this goes beyond him being in his earning phase. I think it's beyond that. But because he's in his earning phase of his life, that's going to make this really be problematic. And what really makes this challenging for this guy is that, any sort of addiction, whether it's workaholism, gambling, video games, alcohol, drugs, anything like that, is escapism. And that is something that Pisceans often, people with heavy Pisces and 12th house stuff going on in their chart, often struggle with. It's not uncommon at all. And it's almost just, like he's got I would be willing to bet, if I looked at his chart, I would probably see a lot of similarities to mine. So yeah, that's what I got, Miss Carissa. That's what I got. This is crazy though, because I was expecting the Pisces to be all the usual, and this isn't always the case, but the usual challenge between Pisces and Geminis is Pisces are, they take love very seriously, and we just don't, you know. And it can be challenging for air and water to connect, but you got to look at the whole chart. You got to look at the whole chart. But I think in your case, this would be the challenge of the Gemini saying, can't you just loosen up and have some fun? Can't we just go out and laugh it up a little bit? I think that would be the challenge. Hey, I exist. I think that would be the challenge. That's what I got. I hope that helps you, love. Yeah. My Pisces friend runs from major responsibilities and fills it with minor. Escapism. Thank you, Carissa. Thank you for booking with me. Appreciate you. Jim, I dated for 3 years, is very affectionate and loving. No roaming eyes ever. They can be. You got to look at the whole chart, And it even goes beyond that, their year of birth, and that tells you a lot about people's character too, You just got to take the whole picture. Yeah, me too, Carissa. Me too. When I'm committed, I'm ridiculously committed. It takes a lot, for me to go there, but when I do, I do. Because I can't stand liars and cheaters. And the thing about it is, if somebody bores me, I'm not going to commit to begin with. Because I can't think of a worse thing for a Gemini than to be bored. I can't even talk to somebody that bores me. But getting me as a child, exactly. Carissa, because a lot of people don't understand, we like banter, and a lot of Geminis usually like banter, and that's the way to win a Gemini heart. And if you can't banter with us, we're going to get bored. I mean, we'll be a friend, but we can't really, even then as a friend, we'll get bored. We'll get bored. But banter is like catnip to a Gemini. We cannot resist. Yeah, I saw a guy on TikTok that said 12 things you need to know about a Gemini, and he was spot the hell on. And one of the things that he talked about was the way to win a Gemini's heart is banter. And if you really want to, win a Gemini's heart, roast them. And don't just roast us. I mean, use the double entendres, use the meaningful stuff. When I say roast a Gemini, I don't mean just, insult a Gemini. I don't mean just, don't call a Gemini a douche canoe. No, say something, really that has meaning, and that's, we love double entendres and stuff like that, right? You're a Gemini rising, Rosetta? Yeah. You're definitely, if you're a Gemini rising, you're a chatter. You chat. You like to chat. Gemini friends love drama. They can. I will say, most Geminis that I know like observing, but not participating. Yes, I like other people's drama. And it's not that we want people to get into it or to have drama, but we're so curious. And one of the things that fascinates Geminis is human behavior. And we like to sit back and watch people and watch for patterns, because we absolutely clock people. And an older Gemini, especially a Gemini rising or a Gemini moon, is going to be able to look at somebody and tell you what they're going to do before they do it. We were excellent at predicting patterns, and because we learn over time, because we observe people interacting with each other, drama or otherwise, and we're good at predicting. We're like, oh, most people that do this and this, the third thing they do is this, and 99 times out of 100 we nail that. And it's not even really any psychic abilities as much as it is we just understand human behavior. Yeah, exactly, Chris. It's like I don't really care. I'm just curious. I'm just curious as hell, right? Yeah, you can do that with Gemini's. Interesting. I don't know. I think the thing about Gemini's, and because you said most of the time Gemini's aren't wrong, I think if we are, we're open to say, oh, wow, okay, I need to change my view on that. We're very adaptable when we get new information. We don't really have a problem saying, oh, I was wrong about that. Yeah, me too, Chris. I'm ridiculous. Tarot was the right thing for me because I'm like, you ain't gonna believe this shit. I know you've heard me say that before in readings, Carissa. It's like, man, this is some juicy stuff right up in here. I'll pull some stuff sometimes that just, it's like, oh, this is some hot tea. And it's always interesting to see when people are acting toxic and you can see it in a reading. Are they gonna double down on their bullshit or are they going to come around? Most of the time, people will double down. Yeah, Geminis aren't locked in on views. There are some things that I will say that I'll die on a hill about, but it's few. Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, you're right. I don't think that anymore. In fact, Chris, I know you can understand where I'm going with this. You'll be having a conversation with someone, right? And you'll be talking about, something. I'm trying to think of something. I'm going to make up something hypothetical. This would be a Gemini talking to you. Gemini would say, I was thinking about traveling to Toronto next year. And I thought about doing that. And I think I will. I think it might be fun because you can do this, this, and this while you're there. But you know what? Wait a minute. Actually, now that I look, I see that Toronto is having some issues around high crime or what the hell ever. So no, I don't think I'll go. I think instead I'll just book my trip to Hawaii. That's Gemini, and they'll tell you exactly why they need to do something, and then talk themselves right out of it and realize, no, that's not a good idea. I'm going to do something else. And you never said shit. Yeah, no, I don't think that anymore. You almost want to be proved wrong as long as it's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What we cannot stand, what we have zero tolerance for, is people that are very dogmatic and they don't have a basis for what they think. It's like, show me I'm wrong, but show it. Show me your receipts, show me your charts, your graphs, your data. Is this just your opinion? Oh, go fuck yourself. You're an idiot. You know, bring me some facts and then we can talk, or some compelling evidence at least, right? Bring me something to compel me to change my mind. Niagara Falls is more fun than Toronto. Yeah, see, that would be Gemini. You know what? I think Niagara Falls might be more fun anyway. Let me just go there instead. But yeah, it's most people, and Bertie, I heard you say something earlier. Gemini's and speed dating, and you're saying they can talk to two at once. We can have multiple conversations going on at the same time, and people will misinterpret that because they'll think we're not paying attention. But no, we're talking to you and we're listening to you, and we're taking everything in, and we're clocking everything. We're clocking everything. Our mind is fast. Fast. But yeah, we do. We need to see the receipts or at least something to compel us, right? Because Carissa, a lot of times when we're mulling something over, we'll have an opinion of, I think this is the way this is, but I need more information, right? My martial arts instructor was a Gemini. He saw my strengths and weaknesses, suggested a unique fighting style. I followed his suggestion and won tournament after tournament. He read people well. There you go. That was Linda, right? From Mantle, I don't know what that is, Rosetta. I've never been to Australia, but I have Australians. I have a few people from Australia that follow me, and I love them. I love Australians, and I have some people from New Zealand that follow me, and I love those folks too. But there are a few things. There are a few things that I will say that, and I'll say I will die on this hill. There are a few things that I'm pretty decisive about. Delaney, yes, she is. She is from Australia. She is from Australia. You want to go to the Great Barrier Reef, Birdie, where the shark cages are? There is a beach in Australia somewhere where the dolphins come up to the shore. I would love to go there. They interact with humans. I would love to go there. Fremantle is a suburb in Perth on the coast. Very bohemian. Lots of. Oh, I would like it then. I would like it. Very bohemian. It sounds fun. Readers, musicians, healers. I probably would love that. I would be in my element. But supposedly the Great Barrier Reef there is beautiful. I've heard that. Dolphins always lead my boat and jump in front of it. You see dolphins a lot in certain parts of the Gulf too, Birdie. I think you're right, David. And dolphins can be assholes too, just like Geminis. But yes, they're curious, very intelligent. But they can be assholes. They're really mean too. Most people don't know that. I love dolphins, but if you study about them, they can be assholes. They can be a hot mess. And they're even assholes to each other sometimes. Frio for short, Aussie short and everything. There you go. But I'm fascinated with dolphins just the same. They're extremely curious. In fact, Bertie, when you said that about the boat, it reminded me. And you see them a lot, like if you jet ski in the Gulf or what have you, you'll see them a lot, and you can see them up close, and they're curious about humans, and they'll come up anyway, but they won't stay around because they get bored quick. But I'll tell you this one time we were going out. We were going out with some friends, and we were going out deep sea fishing, and we were just heading out. We were going right out the pass. And they hang out in the pass a lot because when people come back in, a lot of times they throw leftover bait, and the dolphins like that. So you see them a lot around like Destin Harbor. You can always see them in Destin Harbor, right up by the boats. And but in the pass, they're always in the pass too, going out into the Gulf. And so we were heading out the pass, and I was driving the boat. And the guy, the owner of the boat, he said, let's kill the motor a minute and have some fun. And I said, all right. And so he said, for anti-personnel around the bases. Yes, yes. And so he killed the motor, and we were just floating right there in the pass for a minute. And we started on the side of the boat because he knew they would come up, and he said, watch, the dolphins will come up because they'll be curious about the noise. So we started doing this on the side of the boat, and when we did, they came up just out of nowhere and were just jumping all over the place in the water and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty cool. But anyway, I would love to go. There is a place in Freeport in the Bahamas where you can swim with the dolphins, and those dolphins there, it's called the Underwater Explorers Society, and those dolphins actually live in the wild. They do not live in captivity at all, and so they come up every day and they're tagged. I mean, they know which dolphins are which, but they're tagged. But they are, they swim with people, and all of that. Yeah, exactly. Carissa, they're like, what the fuck is that noise? And so they came up and they hung around for a little bit, and they jumped around, and after about 15 minutes they got bored and left. Very Gemini. Oh, that is, see, they know if they come up on that platform, you'll feed them. They know. It's fun to watch them when you see them on the beach, and you see them, if they pattern. If you stay at the beach, which we did that this time last year. We were at the beach. We stayed a week at the beach last year in late April, and at Navarre. That's where we were. We were at Navarre, and every morning you could sit out on the deck. And every morning about 9 o'clock, you'd see them come through, and because they would feed. They would be following the schools of fish, and when they get to feed and they get excited, and they'll be jumping up and stuff like that. And you'd see them every day, about the same time every day, going the same direction, and then coming back in the evening, and going back, and then coming back. But they're fun when they're feeding. They're fun to watch when they're following those schools of fish that are moving through. Flipper and the kid with the Ugo horn. Yeah, exactly. They're fascinating though, but they will come right up in Destin Harbor. The boats that are literally docked right there on at the harbor. You'll have the deep sea fishing boats lined up there in Destin Harbor. And the dolphins just swim right up, in that very shallow water, because they know that people are throwing bait fish, and they're cleaning fish and throwing stuff over, and the dolphins eat all that stuff. So that's pretty fun. But you'll be sitting there. There's restaurants that are along the harbor too, there in Destin, and you'll be sitting there eating at one of those restaurants, and you'll be looking out into the harbor, and you can just see the dolphins cruising down through between the boats, between the rows of boats, and you're like, yep. It's pretty fun. Anyway. When I was young, some of us watched Jaws. Next day, I was stoned on a raft floating and chilling. I saw all the fins and thought I bet you did freak out. We see a lot of sharks in the Gulf, like right up next to people that are out there swimming. We see that along the Florida, Alabama coast. You see a lot of big tiger sharks and great whites and stuff. They're out there for sure. You see them a lot. But you see dolphins a lot too. When you're out there swimming, they'll come right up. I miss snorkeling in the Caribbean. You collect shark's teeth. I miss snorkeling in the Caribbean. I love going to the Caribbean and going snorkeling. That's one of my favorite things that I've ever done. That's a lot of fun. Seen all kind of stuff snorkeling. Nurse sharks, beautiful fish, hawksbill turtles, dolphins. We've had 2 fatal shark attacks in Australia in the last few days. Wow, I hate to hear that, Rosetta. Black tips, hammerheads, and now saltwater crocs and coming on shore here. We have a lot of alligators and crocodiles because I live on the coast, so there's a lot of bayous and brackish water, the bay, and all that. We have a lot of big alligators in the area. Kraken is out there somewhere. Yeah. We have a lot of big gators. There is a strip of roadway that crosses Mobile Bay between Mobile and Baldwin County called the Causeway. Some people call it Battleship Parkway because the USS Alabama is there. That is kind of a museum type thing. But anyway, the Causeway is right there. It's like very low, and on occasion, there will be like this humongous gator just blocking traffic and just laying there across the causeway, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do? So they'll have to get him out of the way, because that's a pretty heavily traveled thoroughfare. There's some great restaurants along the causeway too. In fact, we ate there at one of those restaurants for Mother's Day. That's where I got to go for Mother's Day. If y'all saw my Mother's Day pictures, that's where I was. I was dining on the causeway with some great seafood. Yummy, yummy seafood. And I'm really hungry now. But you get kind of spoiled when you live on the Gulf Coast. You really are picky about good, fresh seafood. When I have moved away from the coast, I miss a lot. Fresh seafood and people that really know how to cook it. The commercial traffic in Mobile will run you over. Yeah. Yeah. Worst we have here is snapping turtles. We have those. We have a lot of turtles. Sometimes you'll see turtles, and if you in your yard and stuff here. I had them when I was living in Tuscaloosa. Behind me was like a creek or something behind my property, and I would see turtles, a lot in my yard. I have a rabbit who visits now, and I have raccoons that visit as well where I live now. There's raccoons in my yard just almost every night. They set off my cameras, and I'll get notifications, and I'm like, yep, that's the raccoons again. And then I have cats that cross the back and the front yard. And then I have a couple of dogs that come up at night. One of them's big, looks like a Great Dane. I think he's probably an escape artist and he gets out of his yard. I'm like, why don't his people just bring him inside at night or something? Smoked pepper salmon for lunch. Yummy! Smoked fresh fish is popular in northern Michigan with the Great Lakes. I bet. Oh, that sounds so good. That sounds amazing. Smoked pepper salmon. Yum, yum, yum. That sounds amazing. Love, love, love it. I do feel very lucky. I love living where I live. I love living where I live. I mean, it has its drawbacks, but whitefish is popular. I don't care for just whitefish. I like, see, I'm spoiled. I like mahi, snapper, stuff like that, right? Used to hunt raccoons with red bones. Oh, so cool. So cool. I like freshwater catfish a lot too. And you can get some really good freshwater catfish, especially in Mississippi. Especially in Mississippi, there's some great, but there's some good places you can get catfish here too, because we're not very far from the Mississippi line. I like swordfish. I do. I do too. Flounder is good. Snapper is one of my favorites. I bet. I love watching dogs do what they were bred to do. I love watching, red hounds and hounds do what they do. I love watching retrievers, do water hunting and stuff like that. Water retrieving, really. Catfish needs to be seasoned though. Yes. Yes, it does. You got to have the right breading. You got to have the right breading because, I mean, you can broil or grill catfish and make it good too, but it's got to be seasoned right. Diving gig flounder. That sounds fun. My dad used to have this floundering light, and he would wait and gig, at night. We should all eat more fish. I think so. I love seafood. I love crab meat. That's one of my favorites. I love crab meat. I like blue crabs, and of course I like snow crab legs, but I like blue crab too. Ooh, blue crab meat. Oh, love, love, love it. We have a dish that is was made famous here in this area called West Indies salad, and it is made with crab meat and vinegar and diced onions. And if it's made right, it is absolutely delicious. Delicious. But like bullheads more than channel cats. I don't know. As long as it's freshwater, usually around these parts, you get them farm raised, right? They make medicine for that. I heard that, David. I heard that. I do love snow crab legs too, though. I do. Very much so. I like lobster, but it's hard to get a good lobster around here. Crab Festival once a year here in Mandurah, West Australia. Okay. Always done Cajun style. Yes. Yes, Cajun style. Absolutely. That's so good. That's so yummy. That's so yummy. There is so much mercury in fresh water now. Yes. Yes, there is. You have to, unfortunately, you have to be careful about eating a lot of fish because of that very thing. You absolutely do. But I do. I love my seafood. I love my um shrimp. Ah, fresh shrimp, especially like royal reds, low country boils. I like low country boils. Yeah, where you have shrimp and snow crab legs. I don't like crawfish, but I do like the shrimp and the crab meat that you see in there sometimes. Let's careful to pick up the gray fat. That's where concentrate. Yes, yes. Frog legs are the chicken wings of the creek. I can't do anything related to frogs. I can't. I can't do it. I can't. I'm so good. Miss me with the frog legs. I am phobic about frogs, frog legs, dead or alive, it doesn't matter. If Gemini needs any mercury, they're already loaded. Exactly, Rosetta, right. Hey, Baxter, you're gonna be you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay, Baxter. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Have y'all met Baxter? I know some of you have. This is Baxter. This is my buddy. This is my buddy. This is my buddy. Hey. Whenever I put cards down and he knows I'm just talking, he does this because he's like, it's time to go, Mom. It's time to go in there and, feed me. And yeah, Baxter's, did you say frog legs? I know. I think he ate a frog one time, Birdie, at our house in Tuscaloosa. I think he did. Such a goober. He is a gentle soul, Rosetta. You read him right. He's a Gemini, but he has a Pisces moon, and he is very Piscean. Like he acts like more like a Pisces. He does have a You're right, Birdie. He has a YouTube channel. Why are you licking my table? Oh, my cats are whining. But he's a sweetheart. He's different than any dog I've ever had before. I love my animals, I do. He's just different, but in a good way. He's such a baby. You hear him whining? Baxter, begging and pleading it's not a good look. It's not a good look. But yeah, Baxter has a YouTube channel, Rosetta. I'll see if I can go find the link for you. I post about him on my, let me find him. And I'll put his link. Oh, I love Weimaraners. Poodles are incredibly smart. And I think red bones are just cute. Here's Baxter. I'll give you Baxter's. I'll put the link in the chat so you can go. He posts about every month. He's not extremely active. And his description on his channel says, "I am here to get more dog treats." Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I thought I copied that. Hold on. Edit, copy. I had the wrong thing. All right, let me see if it did it now. Edit, paste. There we go. There's his channel. Oh, I love chocolate labs. My neighbor had a chocolate lab years ago named Hershey, and I thought that was the cutest name for a chocolate lab ever. Bit of a schizo, but a great dog. Really pretty. Most chocolate labs I know are super high energy and a little bit schizo. The yellows and the black labs tend to have a little more sense. But I think that chocolate labs are beautiful. And there's not as many of those. I think there's more yellow labs and black labs. But anyway, Rosetta, if you want to subscribe to Baxter's channel, it's about time for him to post another vanity picture. I'll have to do that. But anywho, blacks are the dumbest according to the vet. Chocolate the smartest, and then the yellow, and then the black. That could be. I think chocolate ones are definitely the higher energy ones, for sure. My daughter's dad has a black lab, and she is pretty smart. She's pretty smart. She's a really sweet dog. She's older now, but she's a great dog. So you are welcome. She's a natural retriever. Yes, they do that. I had a golden retriever, and he loved to swim. Oh my gosh, he just loved to swim. You know, I thought Baxter might swim. He's jumped in the pool a couple of times, but I think he's decided he didn't like it. When Abby was here the other day, we were floating around out in the pool, and I let him out, and I figured he would get in the pool. He didn't. But he hung out, but I don't think he had any interest in getting in the pool, and I wasn't going to make him. Because quite honestly, I don't want him to get in the habit of going outside and jumping in the pool every time he goes outside to potty, because I don't want a wet dog coming back in every single time. But he's jumped in a couple of times. He does have webbed feet. He does. That's why I expected him to swim. He's definitely not afraid of it, but he does have webbed feet. So he's got some retriever in his bloodline. I think Baxter has, way back when, he maybe some flat-coated retriever, possibly, since he's solid black like that. I think he may be akin to some flat-coated retriever way back when. But usually dogs with webbed feet like that will take to water just naturally. And I'm surprised he hadn't. I think if he ever does really get into it, I think he will. But I just think he hasn't really gotten into it. But with those webbed feet, I really expected him to be more into that pool than he turns out. He's not afraid of it, though. He's definitely not afraid of it. Very curious about it. I used to duck and swan hunt in the Outer Banks, did field trials with her. Oh, fun. I bet she was good with field trials. I bet she could kick some ass. My golden retriever, he loved swimming. He was a Pisces too. And he was a Pisces. He was a Pisces through and through. His name was Jolly. He was a sweetheart. Got Weimaraners on my Weimaraner on Morning Dove. Oh, my Weimaraners are beautiful. Beautiful. I always look at them and I think they look like a ghost. You know, they're just so beautiful, that blue-gray. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Yours is a Leo. I bet he was fun. I bet he was fun, Birdie. I bet he was a fun dog. I always thought Weimaraners were just gorgeous, though. Really pretty. Another dog breed I like, and it's not really it's a working breed, but it's not in the hunting department. Oh, the poodle is a Leo. Oh, that fits. Your Weimaraner is a Cappy. How sweet. I had a Siberian Husky that was a Virgo, but she really was very Gemini. I think probably if I had known her birth time, she would have been probably a Gemini rising. Oh, she'd carry her slippers around when I got home. I couldn't find them. I'd say fetch them up and she'd run get them. That's funny. You could lose them in plain sight. I believe that, Jessie. I believe that. I believe that. She took showers with you. Baxter has taken showers with me before. When I had the walk-in shower, you know, he would walk in and get in the shower, and I would bathe him when I would shower. He would take a shower with me. I would take a shower, and then I'd bathe Baxter. Sassy's Husky is a Virgo. Okay, I know Sassy. I mean, I know who she is. I love her. I love her, David. Yes, Cinnamon. Cinnamon is so beautiful. His sire was a champion. Oh, wow. I did not know that Cinnamon was a Virgo. I did not know that. Cinnamon is gorgeous. My Husky was silver. She was a silver. Cinnamon is a red. Cinnamon is gorgeous. Very pretty baby. But I did not know that Sassy's baby was a Virgo. That's so cool. My cats are Virgos. My cats are August 26th. My cats that I just got are brothers, and they are both Virgos. Your daughter wants a Husky. Huskies are incredible dogs that are extremely a huge responsibility. You got to really, really be able to make the time and energy commitment to own a husky. Um, they are very active, very high energy, and just quite honestly, even when you keep them busy, they can still be quite destructive because they get bored so quickly. And yeah, and that makes it tough. Every week, every week when I had my husky, every week I would brush her and her undercoat out on my back deck. I would sit down and it was an ordeal. And every week I would have a mound of undercoat that was like this and like this wide, just, and that was weekly. And so that, and I would have to replace my vacuum cleaner about every 6 months. And I did competition with her. I did obedience competition with her, and she was quite good and quite accomplished. And I trained her for an hour every day. I would work her. We would go and we would work in the park. I would take my stuff, and we would do jumps and retrieves and scent work and stuff like that. And even with all of that, she was still a handful. Now, she was my heart dog. I loved her, and she could read my mind. She and I were, man, we vibed, and we did beautifully together. She could read my mind. She knew exactly. I mean, and she loved obedience competition. I literally would look at her, and if I was going to work her in the backyard and at my home, I could say to her, "Come on, Sheba, let's work," and she would run to the door. She absolutely loved working. She loved it, and she patterned so fast. I mean, she would catch, because huskies are really, really smart dogs, and they catch on. So they now huskies will fuck with you. They like to act like they're dumb and they don't know what you're talking about, or that they don't know what you're trying to say. They like dumb because they don't really have the willingness to please that a lot of other breeds do. You get breeds like retrievers and other types of breeds, and they have an innate desire to please. A husky will look at you and say, "Why should I?" They're very cat-like in that respect. And they can be aloof a little bit like cats, but at the same time, they're very social dogs. But at the same time, very, very intelligent. And if you get them where they want to work, where it's their idea, which was where Sheba was, then you've got it. And she would pattern. She would catch on to things so fast. I mean, I could train her on a whole new thing, and in a week she's got it. Another dog, a month. She was so quick to catch on. The problem was getting her to want to do it. If you had her where she wanted to do it, you're gold, you're good. But she was a fun dog. Fun dog. If you notice the pic, you'll see I put my lab in it. That has really freaked me out. She had only seen a pic of mine. Oh, wow. I'll have to go look. Just started tracking. Oh, I bet that Weimaraner was good with the tracking. I got to go look at that birdie. I got to look at that again. Oh, wow. Wow, very interesting. Very interesting birdie. A lot of details, huh? Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Right. Um, I love seeing dogs do tracking. I love seeing like bloodhounds. I absolutely love Belgian Malinois, but I could never own one because I would not be able to give that dog what it needs. but it's a breed that I have great respect for. They are amazing. They're not even dogs, they're just machines. But they're really just great dogs too. So that's, I have sense enough to know that I'm not a Malinois candidate for a candidate to own a Malinois, because I could not give that dog what it deserves. But I think they're amazing animals. And I love seeing little clips of them doing their thing. They're incredible. Yeah, I bet that Weimaraner loved doing tracking work. I bet that was right up his alley. I bet that was right up his alley. The husky and I had all kind of fun stuff that we would do. We would play hide and go seek. I could hide stuff from her. We had this thing, and I would show her something, and then I'd put her in another room, and I'd lock the door, and I'd go into the other part of the house, and I'd hide it somewhere, and I'd say, "Okay, find it," and she'd find it like that. She was fun. We would just do fun stuff. She had a lot of cool little tricks that we did that were not really competition related, but just fun. When I was on the force, those dogs amazed me, and they had so much. Yes, they know no fear. They don't know fear. They don't. They don't care. They will just do. They're like machines, man. But they can, if you don't keep them very busy. I mean, Belgians need a full-time job, and they need a lot of physical activity. Border Collies are another one like that. Border Collies need a full-time, 40-a-week active physical job. And both of those breeds, if you cannot give that to them, they will have mental issues. They will have mental problems. And it's not fair to them. So they're great dogs. Both of those dogs are very different, but they're great animals for what they do. And so I love the breeds. I love both of those breeds a lot. My daughter's dog has a lot of Border Collie in him, and he is a handful. He is a sweetheart, but he is a handful. It was always your hat. Oh, I love that. I love that. My husky, when we did obedience training, she was very animated, and I worked her off of hand signals. I only use, at first verbal, but verbal cues, but then I would go hand signals, and I would just barely give her a signal. I mean, you couldn't give her a big signal because she would just be so out there, and it would just be like, so I give her like this little symbol, and she's so fast, just like lightning. You had an Aussie. I had Baxter's supposedly a miniature Aussie, but he's not so miniature. But I had an Aussie too, named Edgar, who was amazing. Such a sweet dog. Ball was like, yes. I have not used clickers. But that kind of got really popular after I got away from competition. But I know it's a popular thing, using clickers. And from what I understand, it's effective. But yeah, herding breeds they usually need an active lifestyle. But especially the Border Collies. Border Collies can just run for hours and just never stop. And it's like lightning. But my daughter's dog, who has a lot of Border Collie lineage, it's always like, what has he done today? Take care, David. Thank you for being here. I'm going to get off of here too because I'm hungry. I'm going to go grab some food. I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much, everybody that booked. I'll get timestamps up, and I'm sure I'll upload some stuff tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye, y'all.